Hello, welcome to episode 4 of Entrepreneurs Success Stories with Risk-Free Marketing, where we dig deep into the journeys of entrepreneurs and unveil the marketing strategies that drive their success. There's tremendous value in learning from the success stories of the experts and the insight that from their journey. Imagine having the opportunity to sit down with favorite author, entrepreneur, or industry leader, asking them those behind-the-scene questions and gaining the direct access to their knowledge and strategies. This experience is like having a personal mentor guiding you towards success. With years of experience in business, you know that by reading these success stories, you can identify the patterns, avoid the pitfalls, and implement the winning strategy in your own ventures. It's a proven path to becoming a true expert in your field and achieving remarkable success. Hi, I'm Atena Pekler, the CEO of the Risk-Free Marketing, your host. And today we have a special guest with us, Ingrid Van der Aa, the Director of Art of Coaching. Get ready to uncover the secret of entrepreneurship, leadership, and marketing as Ingrid shares her wisdom and experiences. Whether you are a seasoned business owner or a budding entrepreneur, this podcast is your shortcut to success. So let's dive into discover about how marketing can transform your business. Hi, Ingrid.
Hello,
Thanks for coming today. Could you please start by introducing yourself and give us a bit of overview of what your business does?
Yes, thank you, Atina. Thanks for having me. Lovely to be here with you. My name is Ingrid Van der Aa, and I am a culture coach. I have been a coach and a facilitator and a leader in a business for over 20 years. And I help businesses reset their culture and reset teams for growth. And so the aim is to have an area, an organization or your team where people feel good, because when people feel good, they perform better.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So tell us a little bit about your journey as a business owner. How did it all begin?
Well, it began quite some years ago. And when I started as a business in coaching, I decided I didn't want to work alone. So I collaborated with a partner and we had a business together. And what I realized over the years that it was actually really hard to work with a partner in the way of we were both coaches, consultants, and to really think like, how can we both work for the company instead of the company working for us? And that you spend a lot of time developing the goals, the strategy of your company, the marketing, but also you have to realize when you're with the two of you, some compromises you have to make as well and discussions, and you don't always agree on the same thing. So for me, what I learned over the years is actually that working together with a business partner who is a consultant and a coach as well was tricky. I felt it slowed me down. So I'm actually now having a business on my own, but I collaborate with people rather than employee people in my business. I collaborate with people and that seems to work much better. So you have different projects where you collaborate with different people. Yeah, and that seems to be more of a success formula for me.
Well, thanks for sharing that for us. It's such a good point. There are a lot of the people that go into the partnership and then they realize that it doesn't work and it's hard to get out.
And it's hard to make the decision that it's not working. Yeah. Because you always want it to work. Well, I always wanted to work and you're loyal and you started for a reason. It's almost like a marriage breakup. Sometimes, you know, when you break up with a business partner, it's not that easy. But it's in the end, for me, it was the best thing to do.
So versus doing the collaboration, then if it doesn't work, you just seize it. There's nothing attached to it, no string attached to it.
Exactly right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for sharing that with us. So in terms of your target market, your avatar, so who do you target? Who do you help?
So I have two sides to my business. One is coaches, where we offer systemic coaching training as for other coaches to also see how they can help with a culture reset in businesses.
Size businesses, like do they need to have a big team?
It's a team, I normally say, from a minimum of 15, 20 people. Okay. So that actually creating a culture makes sense. If you're just with two people, then I don't know if you call it a culture or just, two people working together.
That
When
makes
there's more people coming in and everybody brings in their own background and the systems, then suddenly you get these dynamics and the hidden patterns of relationships starting to happen because people bring their own norms, their own values, etc. So I aim to, when you talk about medium-sized businesses, for businesses from 20 people onwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then do you usually work with CEOs or like leaders?
Usually CEOs or leaders from a big department as well. When they have an issue to do with their team culture, then they come to me as well. Yeah, so both.
And do you usually do one-on-one coaching? You kind of like work with the CEOs and the whole team as a kind of
both as well.
Yeah.
Normally have sessions first with the leader or the CEO on his or her own. And then if there are issues with teams, we can then do workshops with the team as well. So
Okay.
it's normally a program of 3 to 6 months where it's a mix of one-on-one and team coaching.
Okay. And do you have like a lot of competition?
I have competition, but in the field where I'm working, which is very specific in systemic coaching, where you
I've
don't
heard of it much in Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
quite unique.
Yeah, that's right. It's
Yeah.
very big in Europe and in the UK.
Very niche here.
Yes, and it's a way of zooming out and not really looking at problems in a way to solve them, but it's looking at problems in a way like, what does the problem tell us? What is the reason the problem exists? What is the reason the team exists in this company? So that's more looking at it from a systemic, from the whole. Yeah, and maybe also thinking about what's the reason the company exists. And maybe there is a reason why the company should not exist anymore. If you think about examples of the telephone booth, when at the minute the mobile phones came out, there is no reason anymore for a company who produces telephone booths to exist anymore. So it's a relationship to society. So that's what, in a very short nutshell, means to look at issues systemically.
Okay. And what have been some of the most significant challenges that you faced in growing the business?
Is people that they understand what systemic is. That's, I guess, has been my biggest issue. So that's why I actually changed it into a new pitch, a new way of presenting myself to be a culture coach. And now I get much more traction.
So just changing one keyword.
Yeah.
Basically change the whole game.
Yeah.
Because you simplify things. When it's systemic, people don't understand what it is.
Yes. And we talked earlier
exactly
about language and copyright and what do you say? And it's so important.
So important. When one word difference would make a huge difference. And a lot of the people that say, like, for example, I'm the life coach, but they're very general, like you hear it. So, okay, you life coach, are you like a 20 Roman? No, I'm specialized in this. And then just that wording, even like a word business coach, everyone business coach, but it's too generic. People don't understand it when it goes niche specific. Yeah. So I love it actually, culture coach.
Yeah. And now I mention my pitch that way. I get a response like, oh yeah, the culture in my company is this or it's toxic or that's happening. And that really works. So that's a good starting point for creating those connections with businesses who like to work on their culture. And, not every business thinks they need to work on culture, but the businesses who do, I have great conversations with.
You're basically creating a need for it.
Yeah.
Bringing it.
Yeah.
So just speaking about your marketing, how you get the leads. So how do you usually approach the marketing for your business and the generate leads, and which specific channel strategy you use that work better than others?
Yeah, like I said earlier to you, Atina, I think I need your help here because I'm really not an expert and I'm still searching myself. What is the best way to do marketing? So far, it often has been word of mouth. And then I often hear, that's not a strategy. That's not a way that sustains your business. So I am actually looking into other ways as well. I'm now experimenting with email marketing. I find it really hard when it's cold calls or cold emails, because I like to create that connection. And because I know when I have a connection that really works and we have a relationship and I can build on that. So yeah, email marketing is what I'm investigating at the moment.
Do you have a big email list?
I'm working on it. So it's also trying to find the businesses that I like to work with.
Yeah.
So I'm working on it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. No worries. So basically it's mostly, so if you get the persistent leads from the word of mouth, that means you must be doing a really good job.
Yes, yes. But of course, in terms of scaling up, that's where I thought, I have a nice business at the moment, which is, between 100 and 200K, but I would really like to go more towards 200K or more in terms of turnover. And how can I scale that up? And I might need some help with some marketing skills. And like I said, I'm experimenting with email marketing and LinkedIn I use a lot, and I'm definitely open for more help.
Yeah, no worries. The only way to get the persistently is through paid ads, basically, guaranteed. Predictable and persistent. So in terms of the insight and tip, based on the experience, so what you do is a culture coach is not like tangible, like the result that you give to your customers.
Yeah.
Is it a tangible result? Like with a lot of the businesses, there is like, for example, my business, this tangible result, I guarantee this many leads.
Yeah.
And when it comes to yours, what do you guarantee?
Yeah.
Or what result do you give them that's tangible?
Yeah.
And if it's not tangible, then how can you actually sell? Because there are a lot of the people that listening to us, they have the businesses like yours that are coaches, that the result are giving, not like a life coach. I'm going to help you with your mindset, but help me with the mindset. What does it give to you? Like, is it going to help you with your business? Is it going to help you with your life? It's kind of like a bit intangible result.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the people with those type of business find it very hard to sell because of that. So what would be your tip about that?
Yeah, so I use a assessment tool, a team or organizational assessment tool to start with, and then do the same at the end of a program, and we can see the difference. The other things I often talk with CEOs is their engagement surveys, of employees' engagement surveys. And again, have a beginning, a set point, and the end, because it's all about, and my mantra is when people feel good, they perform better. And I help people feeling good, feeling better as a culture coach by really identifying what are the hidden dynamics, what are the unconscious patterns. So it's more about relationships. So yes, it's not as tangible as a number of leads, but you can measure it by surveys. Yeah.
What about the employee retention rate? Would that be something that?
Absolutely, as well. Yeah. So if people are more engaged, they will stay longer in the company. They're more motivated. Also, it's retention, it's engagement. It's also often what I notice in organizations is the opportunity to grow. So career growth and a mentor, or one way or another, that they feel there is a possibility and a path to grow in the organization is important too.
And the performance of the employees?
That will come automatically when they feel better, when they feel good.
So I think that you could turn that intangible result to tangible by focusing on the performance of the employees, their retention rate. Then it goes towards the what's the art of having happy employee is that you have them for longer, they perform better.
Yes.
Then the employee can
so less recruitment costs.
Exactly.
And,
So you could basically, to everyone that listening to anything intangible, you could call up 10 intangible, but thinking about that way.
Yes, that's right.
So thanks for the tips. And let's just diving into the number if you're happy. So if whatever you're comfortable with, you can highlight about your business growth, when you started, about maybe like growth rate, the size of your customer database, or like if your offers a high ticket offer, or how that works. It just gives our audience a bit of the idea about they have a similar business, they could kind of, see that trend.
Yeah. So I guess the first year or two, I probably didn't make 100K, and now I'm in between 100 and 200. And
making the first 100 is very important, because a lot of people can't pass the 100K.
Yes. I've made that now.
Yes.
And now it's like, how can I thank you. And now is to see how can I upskill that further. So yes, I need other tools like marketing, but I'm also thinking of what I realized, what I've been doing so far, probably too much manual, is the invoice system and CRM.
Automation.
And so I'm now investigating at the moment a CRM, also an invoice system, an accounting system. And I think that would all hopefully help me streamlining the processes, and then also set me up for growth more easily.
Free up your time to only work on the business instead of in the business, dealing with admin and
yes, and that's always that trade-off, right? Because I really
100%.
love the coaching itself and working with the people in organizations and with other coaches, and then you have to do all that admin and other process in the background, which often takes more time than I ideally want.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And in terms of your offers, if you're happy to share it, like, is there like a over 10,000 in how long? If you're happy
What
to
do you
share,
mean?
like in terms of your offers, the offer that you
Costs?
provide. Yes.
I am an associate coach at an organization. So I use the office space here in the center of Sydney, and I work from home. So I have relatively low or no office costs at the moment.
Now, what about the packages that you offer to the customers?
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes. That's okay. It's good to know about that part too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time you don't have much overhead. This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
That was
mean
actually
what are the prices that I
that you
charge?
charge. Yeah.
Okay, the prices that I charge, I have packages, different packages, and it's often a 3-month or a 6-month package where I have one-on-one coaching. I have the assessment tool, one-on-one coaching with the CEO or the leader, and then workshops with the team or individual coaching sessions. And that whole package, that is $40,000.
Okay. Well, that's quite reasonable. They
Yeah.
pay 40,000 and retention rate of the employees going to increase by 20%. The
Absolutely.
performance going to that, and it gives them like a
Yeah.
few million
Yeah.
dollar value.
Yeah.
You think
And
about that.
yeah, exactly. I have a maximum size of the group of the team. I say maximum 12. And when the group size is bigger, then that's other rates or other packages. But I also really am proud to work together with the customer, with the client, what they exactly need. So I have it tailor-made, not just off the shelf a package, but really say, what is your issue? How many people or how big is your team? And who would you like to be involved in the whole process of the culture reset?
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you come up with the idea of this like not the culture, originally was systematic or whatever?
Yeah.
What originally made you to think that there's a need for it and there's not enough people that provide that service, and maybe you need to create that business?
I came across it myself. So as a coach, I continuously develop myself with different coaching tools and different techniques. And when I was ready, and that was before COVID, to enhance myself, I came across systemic coaching myself. And then I realized I've done this before when I was in the Netherlands, which is over 18 years ago now. And so I investigated that further. And I think it's a powerful way of looking at problems and issues and at organizational issues, because it's not a thinking way of approaching issues and how to make a culture better. It's actually sort of, you look a lot at unconscious patterns and experiential level that you really feel like, yes, it's to do with relationships and hidden dynamics between people. And if you think about it as that we're all born in a family, we all have a place in our family, the firstborn, secondborn, thirdborn. And those dynamics and those norms and values you have there, you bring into an organization. And if you're used to have lots of problems with your parents and you think you're much better than your parents, and you take that with you in organizations, and you think I'm much better than my boss, which is called parentification, that will actually make a problem, that will create a problem in organizations and make things not flow naturally. By actually highlighting those kind of dynamics and relationship in tools that I use, it's like immediate impact, immediate insight, and you immediately know what to do. That is something which has not really happened in Australia. That's already very, very normal to do in organizations in Europe and in the UK that do, a systemic culture audit.
How do you know that it's quite saturated in those?
Because I did a lot of research and I'm from the Netherlands. So I spoke to all the masters, I call them, who've been doing this for 20, 30 years in the Netherlands. And said, like, every organization knows about this work, and they find it very powerful. It's something where you don't really need a lot of coaching, but by doing a systemic workshop, it's immediately clear what actually the issues are. The issues are, they're not maybe your product or a price that you charge to your client, but it's actually the relationship to do with the people and the dynamics which play out in the people. And that sometimes that it's not very clear what the role is about. The exchange for give and take has not been very clear. So some people are a little bit they feel they don't really belong in the organization. They don't have the right place. And just by identifying that and make it clear and make the roles clear and make the feeling of belonging more obvious, then people are more happy and then things flow.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. It does make sense. And how do you, like, you take the employees and through the assessment form to figure all of,
Yes,
find out what
yes,
the
as a
issues are?
start, the assessment
Yeah.
is a start.
Right.
And then we identify what are
The
maybe the main issues, and then I dive into those issues in a systemic way. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's quite interesting. Yeah, I've worked for so many companies. None of them actually remember what you're saying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think it's very common in Australia, as you said.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. So can you share with us some of your short-term plans to expand the business, your long-term plans?
Yeah,
How you
short-term
working?
plan is really focus on medium-sized businesses in Sydney. I'm based in Sydney. I still like to work in person, and I know we do a lot of work by Zoom and online, and I do that as well. But I've now noticed also that people like to do things in person more and more. So that's Sydney. And once I have worked out how it works with companies in Sydney, I might then expand throughout Australia. That's the plan. And I can work internationally as well. I do travel myself between Europe and Australia a lot. But yeah, I really like to focus on the Australian market myself.
That sounds good. So with the wisdom of your experiences, which tip or advice would you give to startups that looking to start a business in the similar field, coaching field?
Well, first of all, your pitch. Who are you? What is your unique selling point? What is your another way of doing it is Gaddy pitch, or what need of clients can you satisfy with your business? What is it that you do, and how can you help? And I revisit that for myself almost every year and again and again. I think, like, is it clear? How do people respond to what I say, and how I position myself? So that is really a number one. Who are you and what is your pitch? And revisit that and test that, and then look at how to approach your customers. Have a marketing strategy. Like I said, I still can use help there. And then just do it. Just do it. Don't be scared, because you can also sometimes stay behind your computer thinking about strategies, thinking about what is my pitch, but then actually just go out and do it and meet people,
Yes.
talk to people and do it.
I just have an advice to everyone. Every time you have a strategy come to your mind, write it down straight away. Because you're going to forget. And when you write it down and then you focus on it, when the focus goes, the energy flows, and then you can go on, because that's the first. So you don't write it out, it slip out of your mind. I literally, sometimes I'm driving, something brilliant come to my idea. Wherever I'm driving, I pull over. I literally do that. I pull over, write it on my note, and then I go home and I focus on and I expand on it. And then that's how I can actually execute something, because a lot of time we have brilliant idea, we don't write it down, it's gone. And no procrastination. If you're going to try something, just go to try, get the feedback to see if it works, to actually, invest a bit more time and energy on it. And that's exactly what the Ingrid mentioned.
Yeah.
Test it out.
Sometimes it's tough. Certainly procrastination is an interesting topic.
Yeah.
And actually, you can explore that systemically as well. What is the reason behind the procrastination? What is the good thing that you get out of procrastination? Because there must be a reason for it. Otherwise, it doesn't happen.
Safety. The human's brain loves safety. That's the reason behind that. The safety says that, no, don't do it. It's not safe. Don't buy this package. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And then it's give you one of the most important human desires. Tony Robbins have learned that is about safety.
Yeah.
And the brain is designed for survival, and that's why you procrastinate. The brain says that, don't do it, procrastinate, then it's gonna be survived.
Yeah.
And then when your brain said don't do it, because then that's when you're gonna get over that survival brain.
Thanks. You're a fantastic coach too, Tina.
Well, I've done a lot of coaching with Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
I've done advanced, next level, and I've learned a lot about the whole brain, how the brain works.
And it's fascinating, isn't it, how our brains work? Yeah,
it is, exactly. And the thing that I said I pull over and write the note is just because of that. When Tony Robbins said that, because things come to your mind, it slip off. The first is to write it down. One of the techniques I learned from him. You write it down, you focus on it, and you repeat it every day. If you have a goal, you literally go say, repeat it. I want to make $1 million in a year. Every single day, go repeat it, because when you repeat it, you become part of your brain. And your brain go look for any reason to achieve what you're saying, because you believe it. Exactly, that's how it works. And then, so write down, repeat, make it happen.
Thank you. And then also this podcast helped me because the preparation of the questions and also thinking, what do I want to achieve in my goal?
You started actually thinking.
Yes. So
about
thank
that.
you, Atina, for helping me with that too.
That's
Thank you.
all right. Yeah, that's the whole point of the podcast, is just to get to have a conversation, learn from each other,
Yeah.
build a relationship. Thank you so much for coming,
Pleasure.
and giving your time. And this is basically that's the end of the episode 4. Thank you everyone for listening to us. If you have any feedback, please leave feedback, and we see you in the next episode.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.